So tickets have just gone on sale for the Australian Grand Prix, but to say that it has been a fiasco would be an understatement. So here's one reaction. Today's pre-sale was a joke, waiting in virtual queues. Then once you identified select stand was full, you had to rejoin another queue for another stand. I guess it doesn't impact you guys as you'll all be enjoying full access while fans miss out. Aus Grand Prix, you should hang your heads in shame. Rough words. Where did it all go wrong? So for full disclosure, I've been to the Australian Grand Prix a bunch of times. I've gone many times as a paying customer. I have gone as an accredited member of the media. And I've had complimentary tickets once or twice from people that I knew. That's my experience with going to the Australian Grand Prix. Now, it's always been a popular event. It used to be that it would get like protests from environmental groups and stuff. That seems to have sort of passed, but there was a big argument about the Grand Prix, how much money the government would inject into it and whether that was returning to the community or not, whether it was representing value for the people because the government was chipping in so much money to kind of subsidize the event. So there's always been a bit of a cloud over the event in terms of the financials, but I feel like that has really dampened because the profile of Formula One, and particularly the Australian drivers, has been so high. So that investment has been seen as a good one because it's delivered so much entertainment and so much engagement with a global product, and it's put Melbourne on the map, really. But there still remains a bit of an issue about how do we raise enough money to continue to afford to bring the Formula One show to town. So one of the ideas that seems to have been floated this year was dynamic pricing. The idea that if there's a lot of demand for tickets, all we need to do is just pit those people against each other and whoever bids the highest or whoever's willing to pay the most will end up with the tickets. So before tickets went on sale, the Australian Grand Prix account posted this out. Looking for some last minute ticket buying tips and tricks? We got you covered. Give yourself the best opportunity to secure tickets on Tuesday with these handy hints. Step 1, log into Ticketmaster and save your card details. Good tip. Plan your preferred tickets with your friends and family. Another good tip. Step 3, join the waiting room 15 to 30 minutes before tickets go on sale. You will be assigned a random place in the queue once the pre-sale starts. Step 4, have a backup plan. So if you don't secure your first ticket preference, you can get something else. And step 5, if your first ticket preference is unsuccessful, select a different grandstand and or a different day option. Fair enough. Sounds good. Thanks very much. Here's how it went. You can see someone posting a screenshot here where it says something went wrong. Yeah, something went wrong indeed, Aus Grand Prix. Got a ballot code, yet the only tickets we saw available were a handful inflated price in-demand tickets, well over our budget and advertised stand price. And then the next stand had this error. Hey, you don't sound very grateful. Did you save your credit card details? That's what you were supposed to do. You're supposed to save your credit card details. It's your own fault. Some people have themselves to blame. Another person. Today's pre-sale was a joke. Waiting in virtual queues. Well, were you there 15 to 30 minutes beforehand? Jeez. You're your own worst enemy when you don't follow the tips. So that's not great. I didn't save any of them, but I saw a lot of comments along the lines of, it would be easier, even though I live in this country, it would be easier for me to fly to Singapore and go and watch the race there than it is to watch it in my home country. So the pre-sale was an absolute dog's breakfast, but then they were going to open it up for everybody to buy tickets. And the big question was, are they going to leave on the surge pricing? Because it's bad enough when you're doing like a pre-sale situation, but when you're opening it to the grand public, the flood for tickets is going to be insane. I was expecting it to be an absolute bloodbath for people trying to get tickets and the cost just skyrocketing. So they had countdowns going. They're like, this many hours to go till you can get tickets. Here we go. And the tickets went on sale and this happened. Due to a global third-party outage, the Formula One Australian Grand Prix 2025 general public on sale will be delayed until tomorrow. We apologise for the inconvenience and appreciate your understanding. Bad news to those people who pre-saved their credit card details. They have to do it again. Please reconfer with your friends and family about what tickets they want and have a backup plan. Maybe your backup plan might be Japan. Your backup plan might be China. Your backup plan might be Singapore. And I know everything that's online these days is sort of global by nature, but I mean, when people in the States are posting about this, you know it's a problem. Look at this. This is friend of the show, Lindsay. The ticket drama for the Australian Grand Prix is making me feel better about crossing that off my list of potential races for 2025. F1 needs to do better. Yeah, mate, this is not good. So things were absolutely not going well whatsoever. And then you would think it would be time for the organisers to eat humble pie and actually say, we got it wrong. We're very, very sorry. We're going to do what it takes to make this right. It did seem like when the tickets finally went on sale that they might have either decided after the first try and then the ticket outage. Now maybe wasn't the time to piss people off with this dynamic pricing. They might have turned it off because of that, or they might have always planned never to run it on the general public sale day. I don't know. But you would think it would be time to just say, we're very sorry to anybody who missed out on the tickets they wanted. We're very, very sorry to people who paid more than twice what they usually would pay for those kind of tickets. But instead, we got comments like this. Shout out to Georgie who posted this. I can't believe the CEO of Oz Grand Prix has seen the fan backlash to the ticketing and still gone on the record defending the use of dynamic pricing while seemingly lying about their transparency price caps. Absolute bullshit. Here's the quote that they've clipped here. We've been very clear and transparent about the range at which you will pay, which not all events do, Mr. Old said. He said prices paid were based on demand similar to airfares. Now, one important difference you may notice between the Oz Grand Prix and airfares is that if you don't want to go to the Oz Grand Prix, there isn't like another Grand Prix at the same time that you could go to. There isn't like another one the next day or the next week. So it's not like airfares at all. If you want to go to the Oz Grand Prix, there's one show in town. It is actually a monopoly. It depends on the level of demand for that product at the time you're buying it. Well, yeah, you know when people want to buy it? When it goes on sale. But we have put a cap or a limit to the extent to which that can increase, which is not a practice applied by all events. Well, gee, thank you very much. Don't you just deserve a medal? Georgie, it turns out, is a bit of a writer, and she wrote this up about the whole event, and I'll have Georgie on the show one day to talk about something, I'm sure. I'm sure that I'll get her on because she sounds great. But she wrote this, Spotlight on Dynamic Grand Prix Ticket Pricing. This is on her website, F1 Fan Engagement Tracking Project. This is a part about something called AusGP Access, and I'll just read it so that you can understand what she's talking about. Earlier, I mentioned paying for access to pre-sale, which brings us to the controversial Oz Grand Prix Access program. This program began as a bizarre crypto-adjacent experiment where fans can buy tokens, which give them access to bonus experiences. Initially, despite the weird token process that could have been a lot more straightforward, there was some actual value to the program. Tokens started at $55 and gave pre-sale access at reserved zones at Melbourne Walk in the Fan Forum for fans to get closer to the drivers. But because fan experience seems to have been a foreign concept to the Australian Grand Prix Corporation, they raised the prices to $200 and got rid of the reserved zones. So basically your $200 got you pre-sale access and the chance to bid on experiences such as pit walks. You don't need to be an expert to see why this is poor value for money. Of course, because fans know the tickets are a nightmare to try and get during the public sales, the $200 passes sell out year after year, which gives the corporation false assurance of the value of their products rather than an understanding of what it really shows. Their entire ticketing system is broken. Dynamic disasters. And speaking of the broken ticket systems and poor value for money, here's where things get messier. We're now throwing dynamic pricing into the mix for all ticket types. Here's the small print that's printed on the website. Park Pass tickets are subject to market-driven pricing, which means the prices may vary based on demand and availability. Please be aware that there could be fluctuations in the ticket prices as a result. All ticket prices are subject to change. Dynamic pricing has been used in recent years for grandstand tickets, but I'm a solid 98.5% sure it's the first year it's been turned on for the Park Passes. Those are the general admission tickets, I think. That, or I and everyone I know have just gotten extremely lucky, but regardless, it's here for 2025. Dynamic pricing works by increasing ticket costs during periods of high demand. You know what a period of high demand is? When the tickets go on sale. I just said the exact same thing. So there's basically a 100% chance fans will log in and immediately see tickets at surging prices and not know how much the announced $309 ticket is going to actually cost them until they make it through the queue. The Oz Grand Prix Access pre-sale launched this week, and we immediately saw the in-demand pricing in action. Grandstand tickets that were listed on the website at $625 were selling at $1,299.80, a 108% increase. Those listed for $485 were selling at $749, a 54.6% increase. And remember, fans accessing this pre-sale had already shelled out $200 for the honour of getting in early. So look, I'm a huge Formula One fan. I live in Melbourne. There's an event here every year. It's been going for more than 20 years. I should be able to go to the Grand Prix anytime I want. I should be able to take my daughter if I want. I need to be able to grow that as a habit, as an experience, to build those bonding experiences, and I want Formula One to be part of that. But I can't do that if the tickets are going to be $1,500. I saw someone say that they spent, I think for 5 people, they spent something like $17,000 on tickets. It's friggin' ridiculous. It shouldn't cost the same as an overseas holiday to go to the goddamn race. Just to watch cars go vroom vroom. I mean, those are some expensive sounds. So the race is going to sell out. Oscar Piastri had better win at all the prices that all the bloody Australians have been gouged with. But I just hope that Australia can do better in terms of this, because just doubling or tripling the cost of tickets, that's just not the way. When you offer literally no additional value, just saying the ticket that you bought 2 years ago, we're now doubling the cost and we're going to give you absolutely nothing in return. It's beyond poor. It's bloody un-Australian is what it is. I should be able to show my passport and get a 50% discount, not a 200% markup. Do better.